Morning everyone, welcome back to another grim day on the finca. It's rained solid for over 24 hours now. We've been moaning about there's been no rain since the beginning of December really. We've had about 10 millimetres the last 3 months, and now all of a sudden it's just non-stop raining. 24 hours we've had about 3 inches so far, 75 millimetres, and it's still coming down, and it's forecast to rain for the next week. Fortunately, we're not going to get this pointed up this time, I don't think, but it's not getting wet and it's not washed out what I've did already, so that's good, thank God for that. So the next problem we've got is our deposit, which you can probably hear, is collecting tons and tons of water off the roof, but that much that it's looking like it might overflow, so I've got to do something with it. Normally we'd pump it into our purification tank, but that's also full because I topped it up just before the rain started, not expecting this much rain because we never get this much rain. The good thing is it's supposed to be gales again, but it's calm, and this will sort all the mud rain out that we had the other day if you saw the last video. So let's have a look. So we had a little break from the rain and now it's back again. It's just starting, that'll be gushing out of there in a minute. You can see how high the water level is. We don't want it overflowing because it's in the courtyard, so I need a plan. So my next job on this horrendous day is to bring all the stuff we got in to do the roof with. We just missed that boat, didn't we? We all planned, and then a little bit of rain came and now it's bucketing down, so it's not going to happen this week. We've got leaks everywhere, which we knew about, but such a vast amount of rain has not done us any good at all. So hopefully they are wet, but they do have plastic inside, so hopefully most of it will be saved. There's still 3 more bags outside, but they're sheeted over decently. The ones underneath are dry, so fingers crossed. Right, so we're making progress. I'm absolutely looking like a drowned rat. This massive pump pumps from that deposit that I showed you before, the one that's getting awfully close to full. What it used to do is pump into here. This is sort of nearly full, but what I've done, I've put a hose pipe there which I can now pump it into the other deposit outside and into the IBCs. I put a 1 micron filter on here, so anything that goes in there should be pretty clean, and then that will reduce the pressure to allow it to send more through the hose pipe, because the hose pipe's not as big a bore as this stuff obviously. So what we're going to do is fire the generator again, turn it on, open the valves and see what happens. Hopefully it'll work. Right, the generator's running. Where's the plug for this? It's here, follow it over here. The joys of living off grid. No, it's not that one. It's this one. Stupid boy. Right, we'll open that. Plug it in. It's a self-priming pump, but it should prime itself. Wait for it. Here it comes. Right. Bit of air still coming through. We've got water going in here. We'll have a look outside, see if it's going in the deposit. Right, we've got a plan B as well. I've dropped a submersible pump down there with a float switch on it. If it gets anywhere near that height where that's an entry to it from the courtyard, but it will come out of there if it gets too full. If it gets anywhere near there, the blue hose there goes into the original trough over there, which runs down and will run into the outside deposit as well. So yeah, belt and braces hopefully. Yep, this is the trough here. It runs all the way down, past the generator, underneath the generator, out the wall there, and onto the land and into the big deposit. And there's our pipe. I've just tied it up so it doesn't move. We might have to, it's once in a lifetime thing this. Yeah, the last time we had a major serious rain event was September 2019 when we had the Gota Fria, where thousands of square kilometres of the lowland in Spain was under, it must have been, well, about that, a good, well over a metre of water. And when that happened, that was absolutely dreadful. Our deposit just filled up, so we're optimistic that it's not going to, but we don't want water coming in the house obviously, so that's what we've got to do. But through all this pain, it's soaking wet, but now we're sorted. We've got a bit of flooding on the land. It has subsided quite a bit, and the wood up the top there is absolutely soaking wet. Look, we had the foresight to bring a bit inside. The solar panels are now clean. It's washed away all the mud that was all over them, thankfully, so that's one result. Fortunately, we had the foresight to bring a big pile of wood inside next to the wet cement. So at least we've got some dry wood, we can have a fire. The batteries are at 26.6 volts, 26.7. We've had the generator running most of the day. I'm trying to hold it still, it's not that easy. We're currently pulling in 124 watts on that one, that bank, and 135 watts on that bank, and 110 watts on this bank that you can't see because it's too bright. So not too bad on the power at the moment. We might have to run the generator a little bit later on. Well, we're all a bit bedraggled, wet, cold. Tough old day It's today. Been a tough day. Life off grid, I tell you what. Don't do it. So all that remains for us now is to clean the fire out and get it lit and get warm. Get warm, yeah. I've just managed to muck out Donkey and Goatee, that's how bad it's been, and it's sort of late afternoon. Yeah, it's not relenting all day. It's awful. And now the wind's got up again, it's blowing a gale again. Hopefully, they've given out this forecast for the next further 7 days. We all need a bit of a break in the weather, and we're good, you know, we get things done, don't we? We just haven't had a break from it. It's been going on since yesterday evening. So hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a better day, and we'll get something done. Yeah. Well, it's Friday morning. The sky, you can see behind me, is a little bit brighter. It's not brown anymore. We've had a little bit of rain overnight, not much. But they're still forecasting it for the next 7 or 8 days. But yeah, miserable, cold, horrible, windy. So I'm going to be in the workshop. At least we've got a bit more power today. The batteries are actually charging up pretty well, despite the fact that it's still cloudy. And I've got 4 hinges to put on my door that I'm going to make. I need 4 because it's going to be a stable door, so I need 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean these up on the bench grinder with the wire brush, and then get them painted, and then if the power holds up alright, I can always run the generator, I guess. I want to try and get that door jamb in, then I can get those acros out of the way, because it's a pain, keep dodging and ducking around them, and that big piece of wood that's on the ceiling as well. So I think first job, get these polished up. Super. They don't come up bad actually, do they? With a coat of paint on them, they'll be lovely. Right, I'll get the rest of them done. Right, so back in the paint shop, which is not ideal because it's wet because the roof leaks above it. I'm going to spray them in pairs with the joints just opened a little bit, so I don't get any paint on the spindle and in the hole that's receiving them. So let's see if we can transform them. Fantastic, they look like new already. I'll show you them in the light when they are finished. The weather's been kind to me today. I'm going to see, I should be able to get this big door frame, the jamb, cut and in place. So my saw's set up outside. I need to go and measure it, but I need to get it an exact cut. because I want this to wedge in under the joist and onto that pad that I put on the floor. If it's slack, it's not going to do its job and holding the thing up. If it's too tight, it's not going to be right. So yes, a bit of a precise cut coming up. So I'll go measure it, we'll get it outside and get it cut. I've just done the first cut and I measured it, cut it a little millimetre or two too big, and it's a tight fit, so I'm just going to trim a little bit more off it. You can always take it off, but you can't put it back on. So yeah, happy days so far. Okay, perfect, that absolutely spot on. What I've got, I think I've got maybe actually not, a little bit at the top that remember when I said I didn't want to build up the inside because I need to put this in. Well, the bit I put on, I just need to take it back a fraction because I've got a little gap up the top there. Other than that, it's absolutely perfect. So I'll get this bit of mortar knocked out and yeah, we'll try it again. It's only a little bit. I'll try and show you like I always do. It's just a little bit here that's just sticking out, just stopping it going back flush with this edge. So yeah, not much at all. Just this little bit here, if you can see in the silhouette. I don't want to use a big shifter because it's not been in long, and it might just knock it all out. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, that's alright. Let's try it again. In. That's it. Perfect. Right, we're still in the dark because it's still very dull. What I need to do now is take a corner out of it, a piece out of it, where the door's going to go, because the door's going to sit inside this, and we can weather seal it, and the door will come flush with there when that's out. Mount the hinges on there and on the door there. It should open the other way, of course. So next thing, if we've got enough power, I'll get the table saw out and run it down. Right, I'll try and explain this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece out of it like that, where the door's going to sit into. The door's going to be 42mm thick because each of these are 21mm. It's going to be probably double on the hinge side, and the weather strip that I use is 10mm thick. So I'm going to make that 42 for the door, and then I'm probably going to do another 6 so I get a good pressure on the weather seal. So what's that? 48mm that way and 48mm that way. So I've set the saw up, I'm going to run it through. So there we have it, you can see that, a perfect door jamb. All I need to do now is get it fixed in place. As always, I'm just going to foam it in, stick some out, it's got a splinter, stick some hugely, and lasts a lifetime. Splinter removed. Right, cool, let's get it in. If you can see that at all with the brightness behind me, I'll try and block it off. It's in, it's wedged, it's absolutely dead level that way, and it's absolutely dead level that way. So now, we can take these props out and see what happens. Hopefully it'll stay up. Yeah, get that one in a minute. Last one. Righto, here goes nothing. Right. There we go. One out. Two out. Fab, it's still there anyway. Excellent. Now we can get in and out a lot easier. The final thing, of course, is to get some bit of expanding foam in there, just to hold it in place and seal it up. Okay, we'll carry on. Apologies if the light's a bit bad in here. Right, it's all foamed in, and we'll trim it off later. We need to tidy all this up as well, but it's not going to affect the frame. Next thing, to get this ring out of the wall. Anybody got any ideas what that is? We have two of these. It's just hanging up here. This, I presume, used to hold a bowl because it's even recessed into the wall. We can't keep all the features, unfortunately, and as it's not very good anyway, it can come out. But yeah, if you know what that is, let us know. It's got a little thing on it to hang it up. Right, as soon as I come out, should do. There we go. It's out when the wall's fallen down. Magic. Righto, we'll just let that go off now. Right, so with this one in place, I've had a look at this side. It was so leaning, I didn't actually realise. So I've had to knock it off. It's just literally won it and it's just fallen off. So I need to get, probably not all, I probably will take it all off because we're going to have to put a piece of timber in here as well now. But we're still going to be able to use our little hole thing. So I'll carry on.
Well, you know the rest. Andy makes the mess and I clear it up. We've been here before. Happy days.
Well, it's Saturday morning. It was all going so well. Apart from the other day when we didn't get anything done. These are the hinges that I did. Look at that. Worked perfectly. Unfortunately, being a stupid boy, the left-hand hinges. This goes on the post, supports the door, which goes on there, which then opens that way. And I want them to open that way. So I need to do them again with the right side. I did these because I actually thought they were the hinges that came off the original back door, but they're not. So back to the drawing board, we've got to make them all again. The weather's a bit better today, but as you can see, it's still pretty dark in here. Fortunately, on the floor, in the snug, which is where I am, we've got a door. I don't know if you saw, but we had a digger in here, and we dug all this floor down, so it's just like loose earth, well, stones to be honest. And so we put some of the old doors on the floor to stop the cats using it as a litter tray. And this one here, which is from I'm not sure where, has got the right side hinges on them. In the workshop I've got all the one half of them, and I couldn't figure out where the other halves were. They're still on this door. The problem is getting them off. They've been on there so long, it's so tough. I've got one off, it took me about an hour, so I need to get another 3 off now. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to crack on, get them done, make myself some more hinges that go the correct way, and then we'll come back to you. Right, the hinges are done. This is where the complicated stuff starts. I don't know if you can see from the floor there, but this runs off at an angle. Crikey, the sun's just popped out. Fantastic. This angle here isn't 90 degrees because nothing is square in this house. It's probably that 17-degree-ish angle. So what I'm going to do, the frame on this side is going to go like that to match up to this one. But I need to cut this at a chamfer angle to sit up against the wall, so these are in line flat together, so when the door shuts, then I'm going to have to rebate out of this like I did with this one to accept the door, if that makes any sense at all. I think I'm actually going to make the door first before I make the other half of the frame. That way I can cut this to suit the door, rather than, because I need to get it in exactly the right place this way, and it's really difficult to gauge it because there's nothing to gauge against. So if I've got a door on, I can gauge it against the door. So let's go and make a door. So what I've done very crudely is just wedge this in place where it's approximately going to be. I need to measure across this opening now where it touches the wall. I'm going to have to cut 15 centimetres off this at an angle. 15 centimetres, 15 millimetres, 10 millimetres actually. So if I measure my door to where I want it to sit in my wood, which is 785, and I have 10 millimetres onto it, so it wants to be 795 will make that. I'll take a bit off there, so 790, allowing for a bit of clearance at both ends. 790 millimetres. So what I need to do now is to cut me, it's going to be a stable door, so there's going to be a lower half here, and so I need to cut 2 transoms, are they called? Ledges, that's it, ledges at 790 that are going to form the basis of the door. Come with me, it'll all make sense. Let's go and do it now. Right, okay, scratch what I just said. I'm going to cut the vertical boards first. The door needs to be 790 millimetres wide. Apologies to our viewers in the States and other countries that still use imperial feet and inches. I'm not that familiar with them, but it's just over 31 inches. Each of my boards are 140 mil, which means I need 5.64 boards. The 6.4 that I need extra works out to just under 90 millimetres. So what we need to do, as always, is take the tongue off one end of the door and take the groove off the other side, so we have a nice smooth edge. Being that I need a board ending up at 90 millimetres ish, that means I need to take 50 millimetres off 2 boards, which I'm going to take off when I take the tongue and groove off. I'm just going to do one end first and take 50 off it, just run it down, and yeah, and work the other one at the end. A lot of these boards, as always, as you've probably seen before, have skaggy edges on. This has got 2 skaggy edges, so I'm going to use this to make the ledges for the door in a bit, but I'm going to find a couple of boards now that, if any more, have skaggy edges, and take that off with the saw, so I'm not wasting a board, so I can still use it, if that makes sense. So the first thing to do is rip one of these down full length. I'm making the door in 2 halves as well, but I'm going to rip the edges down as a whole thing so they're exactly the same. So when they're on the door, you know, even if you're a couple of millimeters out, which is easily done, you'll be able to see it as the lines will run down the door. So I'm going to rip one down and then we'll start cutting them to the height. So get that done, let's get on with it. These boards, this pack is actually all very good. There's only that one that's bad in it. So I'm going to just take the groove off this one. Smashing. Next, I need to decide how high I want it to be up to me, the bottom of my first door. Obviously, I want it to come up to this, which is our old ancient door closer. So probably want it to just come just above there. So, see what we've got. 110 should do it nicely. Actually, that should be perfect. Right, so I need to cut now 5 to 110 because the end one, as I say, I'm going to, when I find out how wide I need that to be, I'm going to rip the whole board down in one and then cut it to length. But in the meantime, we can get the other 5 done and cut the ledges to 790. Right, so they're cut. I've just remembered now, not remembered. I need to cut the tongue and groove off the piece I'm going to use for the ledges that go horizontal as well. Because obviously we don't want to see that, do we? So I'll rip this one down and then I'll get the 2 pieces out of this, losing this as firewood. So I'll get them done and then we'll come back to it in a second. There we go, approximately 1 second later. All the parts for the bottom half of our door is done. So what we need to do now is join them together. Crikey, it started raining again. It's going dark, as you can probably tell. What I've done, I've clamped my ledges to the table, the 2 ledges there. The table's dead square, so I've no problem getting my door square if I follow the lines of the table. All I'm going to do now, put the first one on, blob of wood glue on there, and then just fire some 35mm finish nails through to hold it all together. Just like that, it says. Must be running out of glue as well, I think. Bit of blob on there, bit of blob on there. Get him exactly where we want him. This ledge actually is going to be flush with the top of the door, as this one is just lifted up at the bottom a slight bit. Get him exactly square where we want him. Pretty good. And then bang some nails in. Oh, it's moved already, you see. I'll put one in and then check it again at the other end. Right. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay. Right, I'll get this side done. Right, so he's in. This one was actually bowed, you'll be shocked to hear. All the rest are alright. So I've just clamped it down. All I'm going to do now is stick a blob of wood, run the glue down the groove to glue them together. It'll come out. Here we go. Cool. With a bead of glue on it, wrap them over and push them together. Then that's excellent. Check its level. Right, and get some nails in it. There we go, second one's in. Yeah, looking good. Unfortunately, I've run out of glue, we've run out of light, we've run out of sunshine, and we've run out of time. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to see this door finished, you'll have to tune in on Thursday when it should be swinging from the thing, both halves as well. Yeah, thanks, and welcome to all the new subscribers as well. We've got loads. If you want to follow our progress and you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. A little subscribe button somewhere. I think there's one over there and one down there as well. If you click the bell and select all, YouTube will notify you every time we upload a video. So thanks again, and we'll see you on Thursday.